Hi, Deirdre Virvo here. Thank you for joining me on Let's Talk Seniors, Memory Care Issues, Alzheimer's, Dementia, and Parkinson's. Today, we have a topic of tips for memories for seniors. Many of you may know that I'm a senior housing specialist and also own a residential home for seniors with memory care issues in Shelton. I had the most beautiful day today. My girlfriend, who does gingerbread houses, she's quite creative, Diane, offered to come and do a gingerbread house making class with my seniors. They loved it. They were so engaged. Thank you so much, Diane. It was such a beautiful day. And then it started to snow and we sang Let It Snow and we had Christmas music on and we just had such a great time. So what are tips for improving memory for seniors? Let's say you're home this winter with your loved one and you realize that the memory's starting to go a little. You might notice that. For seniors with memory issues, helping them enhance the quality of their memory enhances the quality of their life. This is true if they just have minor issues that result from age or if they have Alzheimer's, dementia, or any form of memory loss. A familiar environment can reduce confusion and improve mental engagement. So if they are living in an environment that they know or a smaller environment that they are very familiar with, that's super helpful. And being surrounded by beloved objects and memory cues also can foster a sense of connection and peace. So having things around that they love, if it's their favorite yadra or their favorite picture, a comforting pillow, a chair that they have had forever, it doesn't matter how old and ratty it's become, that can be very helpful to those with memory issues. For older adults, there are some conditions that progress over time and have a significant effect on memory. And unfortunately, if you have a loved one that has dementia or Alzheimer's, unfortunately, it always progresses. It always gets worse. It doesn't just level off. So what you see now would be the tip of the iceberg. And unfortunately, it does get worse. However, lifestyle changes may help control memory problems and help seniors to remain feeling relevant. So what are things you could do? One are mental exercises. Research has shown memorization helps keep the brain healthy. So I know, like in my mom's day, they had to memorize everything, poetry. If you ask an older person, they have memorized so many things. This is actually very helpful today if they can just memorize sentences, paragraphs, even words to songs. So you might not be reciting poetry, but how about your favorite song? Making a songbook of your parents' favorite songs, whether it be Frank Sinatra or Elvis, and having them recite it and remember it brings back their memory and also helps them. So whatever we at Dogwood Home, we have singers that come in. We use songbooks, and the seniors will read from it and sing along to the words. They just love it. So they can also learn how to play an instrument, take up piano lessons, or just fixing something, putting together pieces of a puzzle or a simple model. Or at our home, we have a gentleman there. He was an engineer before, and we have him put together all the furnishings, whether it's a chair you have to put together or a glider. He does it all. I mean, he looks, his family can't believe it, but he will look at the instructions 100 times. And it will take him hours, but he does it. He does it, and the feeling of accomplishment is fantastic. And the more things that they can do, the more it'll help their memory. So also teaching others strengthens their brain. So just by teaching classes and conducting or teaching others a skill that you know will help your brain. Another tip is you could take a class or a lesson, even online, or put something on the computer where they're learning something new. formal education works the brain through the learning process. For those that want to keep their mind sharp, taking classes or lessons, even doing anything new like baking, cookie decorating, whatever the capability is, learning something new and taking a lesson in how to keeps their brain going. Socialization. This is huge. Studies have found that seniors that are isolated, especially during COVID, have really regressed. It's very important to, if you have seniors, interact with them regularly, with their friends and family and community. And I know so many seniors become insular on their own and may feel tired and not up to going out, but it's very important because they're less likely to experience cognitive decline and can experience a better overall sense of well-being just by socializing, whether it's family, friends, clergy, anybody. This COVID period has been so tough on our elder population, especially. I mean, it's not fun for anybody, but they were already feeling a little maybe shut in, and now, to be isolated is really tough. So if they're home, finding a day program for them or senior center where they could be with others their age doing fun activities or just eating lunch. Socialization during this time has been so critical. Even if you can't get to your family member, FaceTime. If they have an iPhone, hopefully they can figure out FaceTime. That's helpful. That adds to socialization. Speaking to people on the phone is great, but being able to see them, have them walk around the house, make sure their house is being cleaned, make sure they're eating, make sure they look healthy. I had seen a picture of my aunt after talking to her for months, and she had lost 25 pounds during COVID and didn't even tell me. She was like a scarecrow. And she was all by herself and wouldn't let anybody come into her home. When I realized that she had this, it was like, oh my God, okay. As soon as I realized, I'm like, you are going to the doctor. So it was all good. Here we have Brianne commenting. Thank you, Brianne. So socialization is key. Having neighbors stop by if you can't be there, or clergymen, anybody from their church, volunteers will go by. So I used to run a program called Friendly Visitors and Shoppers in Stanford 10 years ago. And what we did is we paired seniors who were homebound with people that could food shop for them every week. Wow. The stories that the volunteers would come back with, it was way more than just doing food shopping for someone. There was one gentleman who never dressed. He was always in a bathrobe. He never shaved. He barely showered. He had nowhere to go. Nobody was coming to see him, and he never left his house. So when we had a friendly shopper bring him his groceries every week, slowly she noticed, oh, he showered. Next week, oh, he's in clothes, not a bathrobe. Next week, he shaved. Next week, the house is clean. Every week, he looked forward to her visits so much. It gave him a reason to shower, to dress, to shave, to clean. That is a huge impact on somebody's life. You don't even realize. So it wasn't just buying groceries and talking to him for 15, 20 minutes. It was having him to look forward to something, a reason to get dressed, a reason to look good, a reason to clean. Without that, he didn't have a reason. So you're giving them a reason. Just visiting them regularly is very, very important. Wow. So that was too many seniors become insular. I remember too, when I was working at the Friendly Visitors and Shoppers, and there would be whole buildings of just seniors. And I would want to go knock on doors and say, the neighbor next door is alone too. Why don't you get together? But they didn't. So I just think ways to get them together would be great. And if they're unable to drive, they can enlist the help of a family member or friend to get them to social engagements or events, or seek the assistance of a caregiver. Even my mom, she's in her mid-80s and she's driving and independent. often have to encourage her to go to the senior center. Yes, go to that luncheon. Yes, participate, because it's easy to say no. It's easy to stay home. It's easier. It's easier than, getting up and getting dressed and getting out. And so get up and move. This is a really important tip. Exercise is a great way to help keep the mind sharp. Even if you are just outside getting some fresh air every day. Staying inside because it's cold is no excuse. Bundle up and get them outside. Even if they walk around their house, walk around the yard, doesn't matter. You should be outside every day and get some exercise in. At Dogwood Home, we actually have a woman that comes in and does strength training exercises with our seniors 3 times a week. They're in a chair because they're in their 80s and 90s. So they sit in hard chairs and they lift weights and lift their legs and arms and, just keeping them moving. So even stretching, simply stretching is really important for the body. So even if you got your mom or dad up and you just did some little stretching exercises with them, try to touch your toes, try to touch the ceiling, that is really helpful. Healthcare professionals can suggest dietary guidelines or supplements that could also help with memory loss. Oh my goodness, number 1, hydration. Hydration. Seniors have an issue with hydration often. So a lot of times they're drinking coffee during the day or tea and then not drinking water. Caffeine's dehydrating. They need to be hydrated, keep their mind sharp. They need to be hydrated, keep healthy. There are things you could do to keep your senior hydrated if they don't love to drink water. Eating foods that are rich in water, such as watermelon, grapes, green vegetables, leafy vegetables, pineapples, anything that is full of water is helpful to hydration. There's also something you could buy, I forgot the name of it. I got at Costco. There are supplements that you put in your water that it's like 3 times the hydration. It's amazing. So I think it has electrolytes in it, but you put it in a glass of water, 8 ounces of water, it's like drinking 24 ounces of water. So for any seniors that have an issue with not getting enough intake, this is something you could do with them. Hydration is critical. Believing in yourself. Scientists are not sure why, but self-efficacy seems to ward off mental decline. But it may have to do with the person's ability to manage stress. If you see your senior getting stressed over little things and getting easily overwhelmed, let them know. Take it slow. You could do it. It's okay. They don't have to rush. They can do it. No need to get stressed over things. Very important, especially when you're losing some cognitive ability and you know, like early on that, you used to be able to do this and now you can't. That's really hard for seniors. So just letting them know it's okay. There's no rush. Take it slow. You could do it. Allowing them to do whatever they can, not taking everything away from them. So let's say your mom or dad with issues may not be able to pay their bills anymore, but there's a lot of things they may be able to do. They may be able to still clean their house. They may still be able to cook. They may still be able to do certain things. So don't take everything away from them. You're not making their life easier. You're making it meaningless. They need to have meaning in life. They need to be able to do things that they did before, that their memory started slipping. Very important. At our Dogwood Home, which is just a little home for 6 seniors, we have the seniors doing as much as possible. They set the table, they clear the table. Sometimes they dust, sometimes they clean. They do the gardening. They shovel the walk. They sweep the deck. Whatever they hang up pictures. We just decorated for Christmas. They did all the decorating. Might not be where I would have put it, but it's fine. They decorate wherever they wanted to put it, and that's fine. Letting them know that they can do it. You trust them, and whatever they do is fine. Don't take everything away. That will add to their feeling of decline. Organizing their home. So if your mom or dad is in a disorganized home, it's hard for them to function, Just like if you're working at a desk and you're trying to do work and it stacks paper, it's hard for you to function. So organizing their home, like creating to-do lists, calendars, maybe a dedicated spot for their keys and their items that they often lose, ensuring that things are put back, maybe labeling keys here, even labeling their shelves in the pantry so they put the food back where it goes. It gives them a sense of confidence. They're comfortable. Keeping to a schedule and reminding them by using a big calendar or setting alarms to make it easier for them. Oftentimes when you live alone, one day blurs into the other. So it's good to have things that differentiate the days, and so they know what's going on. Removing extra things around the house. Just visually, having a lot of stuff is distracting and overwhelming. And when your mind needs to be at ease, clearing it is like clearing your mind. So clearing your space really adds to well-being. So if your parents started to hoard or have lots of stuff, clearing it as much as possible and only keeping what's important will help them focus on just what's important, and they don't have to worry about extraneous things. Keeping their environment clean and not overcrowded is key. Make sure they get enough sleep. So lacking in sleep can contribute to memory loss. Of course, even in younger people see this. You don't remember as well if you had 3 hours sleep last night and the next day you're trying to function at full speed. It's a little tough. So having your last cup of coffee before 4 p.m., not watching TV before you go to bed, because they say they're having those visual images bombarding us. That is hard to put the brain at rest. So not watching TV late at night, not drinking caffeine late at night, setting the temperature in the house a little cooler, making sure your senior has a bedtime routine. So a few of my mom's friends lately, she's noticed, are sleeping on their couches in their clothes, downstairs, watching TV to go to sleep. They're living by themselves. This is not the best way to get sleep. So keeping up sleeping habits, changing into night clothes, having a bedtime routine of brushing your teeth and gargling, whatever you do, getting in your bed clothes, going to bed at a certain time, making sure you wake up and change into different clothes. That's all part of, feeling relevant and helps with your memory to get enough sleep and to sleep properly, getting into routine. So taking an active role and engaging the mind can help older adults continue to live with purpose, connection, and joy. When you're visiting your senior during the holidays, remember that they are our greatest generation. Keep them connected. Let them know how much they're loved. Happy holidays from all of us here at Just Like Home in Dogwood House. And if you want to hear more topics about this and how you can help seniors, check out our YouTube channel. Thank you so much, and I wish you happy holidays.
Hi, Deirdre here again. Thank you for joining me on Let's Talk Seniors Memory Care Issues. Is this an issue hitting home? Do you have a parent or loved one with memory care issues who you feel is not safe at home anymore? Are isolation, falls, and safety issues becoming a big concern? Welcome to Dogwood Senior Home, premier boutique residential senior living specializing in memory care. It's country living at its best in the Huntington section of Shelton, Connecticut. We're truly a home with only 6 senior residents living as one family unit. Senior residential homes are concepts sweeping the nation with 47,000 across the U.S. We're pleased to open Dogwood Senior Home as it will be only number 6 for Connecticut. Brand new, sparkling clean, opening mid-June. And safe. We are COVID-free. Residential care homes boast a very low COVID infection rate across the nation. This is due to the intimacy of size and speed in which the caretakers can shift to accommodate immediate needs. They are much safer than the large homes and facilities, as you can imagine. It has been documented that residents have less falls and a better quality of life in a residential home environment. Our home is more affordable than the big box facility. You pay one all-inclusive price, and that price is guaranteed for the life of the resident. With an incredible 1-to-3 caregiver ratio, which you won't find anywhere else. Our friendly, loving caregivers are dedicated and trained in Alzheimer's, dementia, and Parkinson's issues. We're only taking 6 residents, so the home will fill up fast. Call me at 203-689-7562 for a talk and tour. I would love to meet you and your loved one. See you soon. Bye.